Welcome to the review show. I'm your host, Tommy Gleason. In this inaugural episode, I will be talking about Marvel's newest Marvel. You see what I did there? Anyways, I'm talking about What If. 7 episodes have fractured the fabric of what we know about the MCU and dropped us into entirely new and exciting storylines. Some were awesome, others were scary, and some were, well, not so good. So without further ado, let's jump into the multiverse. The first episode introduces us to the Watcher, the one who can see all the timelines but will not interfere. And the main story here is that Steve is injured before he can take the super serum, leaving it to Peggy Carter. She takes on the role of Captain Britain and travels across Europe fighting the Nazis. Now this episode, it was a bit underwhelming because it didn't live up to the true draw of the series. Every Marvel fan coming into the series was excited about the chaos, seeing something change. But this was basically a repeat of the original Captain America. And now Marvel has a history of coming up with great characters and then using them in terrible ways. And this episode was basically an example of that in Captain Britain. Well, the second episode does the exact opposite. In this one, we are introduced to T'Challa, but not as the Black Panther, as Star-Lord. He works with a new group of Ravengers to steal a world-killing tool from the Collector. There's a triple cross, an emotional backstory, and hilarious comic relief. This story throws everything we saw in the MCU out the window. Thanos is a good guy, Star-Lord is actually famous, it was exciting, and gave hardcore Marvel fans the massive changes they were hoping for. The emotional journey of T'Challa and his lost home, Wakanda, added to the success of the episode. Now the third episode followed with the same success of the second. In this episode, the Avengers mysteriously begin to die, and Black Widow and Nick Fury work to uncover who's behind it all, ultimately revealing an unpredictable villain. I won't give that part away right now. Marvel really went down a dark route here and surprised everyone with the quick deaths of their favorite heroes. They succeeded again at dramatically altering the universe like we hoped. The story kept us on the edge of our seats and made this episode an especially enjoyable watch. The fourth episode continues the dark tone of the third. This time, our hero, Doctor Strange, is faced with the tragic loss of his lover. The chaos sets in when he decides to go back in time and save her. In gaining the power needed to do this, he becomes something else entirely. A battle with himself, literally and metaphorically, results in the inevitable. The 30-minute episodes make it hard for us to really get emotionally involved, but this one really gets us involved with the emotional pain of Doctor Strange. The show also has that characteristic Marvel flair for action that arguably one of the best fight scenes in the MCU takes place in this episode. And we get to see the Watcher interact with the characters for the first time. This dramatic, action-packed, and surprising tale is a hit for Marvel. The fifth episode brought us the death of more heroes. This time, most of the Avengers came back from the dead as zombies, while the remaining few seek a cure. A train fight and sacrifice lead them to Vision, who is researching a cure. But all is not as it seems among the living. This episode was thoroughly entertaining. It altered the entire universe and gave us a storyline that Marvel would never have done in the MCU. It had suspense, action, and twist. It was a thrill all the way through. This episode could have succeeded as a movie. The hero deaths are not over yet. In episode 6, Killmonger saves Tony Stark from terrorists before he can become Iron Man. The two then create a robotic version of Iron Man. But their plans do not go smoothly. A double cross and multiple fight scenes bring us to a ceremonious end. This episode altered the MCU in an interesting way. There were twists and action-packed fight scenes. Michael B. Jordan killed it with the voiceover, and it was a refreshing break from the pattern of science fantasy of the other episodes. It gave us a story grounded in real issues. In the latest episode, Marvel decided to give us a mental break. In this one, Thor travels to Earth and throws a massive party. He gets into a fight with Captain Marvel and then attempts to keep all this secret from his mother. This episode is well done. It's upbeat, funny, action-packed. Some people have criticized the look of the show, but this episode really splashes all the bright colors in your face while two of Marvel's greatest heroes face off. It's a great episode to watch about a rebellious teen coming off and trying to hide things away from his mother. It's great fun. And the shows thus far have been really good. I don't know about you, but I'm I, for one, am excited to see how this series will wrap up, and it has been confirmed that the show is canon and will get a second season, so it is possible that we will see more from all these cliffhangers. Until next time, continue to watch and ponder the question, what if? And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MUTV, or follow our Instagram and Twitter at MUTV23. You can also find out more information about us at mutv.missouri.edu.